Welcome back to episode 7 of the Hooper's Perspective podcast. Took a few days off, not purposely, but I'm in my own basketball season right now, and I'm trying to get a new episode out every day, but it's really tough when we have like back-to-back games and stuff like that. So I'm sorry about that, but episode 7. Today we're going to do a segment here called Are They All-Stars? So, the All-Star reserves come out tomorrow. So, I got some guys that weren't picked as starters on the All-Star team, but have had good season, have some good stats, and are controversially maybe a reserve on the All-Star team, maybe not. And some guys that I picked personally that I feel like have played good this year. And I just want to kind of talk about if I think they're going to be an all-star or not and why I think they deserve it or why I think they don't deserve it. So we're going to have 3 people from the Western Conference, three people from the Eastern Conference. We'll start in the West. So one player, first player that I got, I picked him to be the most improved player this year, is Norman Powell from the Los Angeles Clippers. He's averaging 24 points per game. They're 6th seed in the West. He's improved a lot since last year. He averaged 12 points a game last year, so he's doubled that. He's averaging 24 points a game. I know at one point in the year he's averaging 27 a game. So, he's really been balling this year, and he can really score. But I think an underrated part of his game is defensively. He's not gonna have crazy defensive stats, but I think he can. He's athletic and he's strong. He can lock down. With that being said, this is the only guy. All the other guys I have yes and no's for. This guy's a maybe to me. 24 points a game. But is he dominating like an all-star? Nah, probably not. So. And he's not going to get, fan votes like Norman Powell. Some of you guys watching that are probably like, who is Norman Powell? You know what I mean? So, I would say he's probably not an all-star. But I think he's playing like an all-star. He's playing at that level, but he's just not. He's got a little bit farther to go. But I really do like how he's playing this year. So, we're going to move on to the second person I got in the West, Ja Morant. He's averaging 20 points and 8 assists. Memphis Grizzlies are the 3rd team in the West. Ja has really transformed his game this year to all around. He's doing everything. He's scoring when he has to, passing the ball really well, rebounding, defending a little bit better. He's been all around doing whatever he has to do to win games, which I think is why you see a team like the Grizzlies, who probably don't have the best roster, but they're the 3rd team in the West right now. With that being said, I feel like his play has been inconsistent this year. I'm a Grizzlies fan myself. It's my favorite team. So I watch them a lot. I think he's been inconsistent this year. Kind of the reason I think he's only averaging 20 points. Obviously, he's averaging 20 and 8. So, he's making up for it in assist. And he's kind of, like I said, playing more of an all-around game this year. But like I said, I just think he's been too inconsistent. He kind of has some nights where he disappears, I think. And I don't know if that's where he's kind of getting back into the flow of things. But my opinion, no. Ja Morant has not really played like an all-star level this year. But he's got his team to the 3rd spot in the West, and he's winning games. I'm not saying he's played bad. I think he's played really well. Especially he's played really good team ball. But I just don't think that he's deserving of an all-star spot this year. And then at number 3 in the Western Conference, I got Jalen Green, a guy who was pretty hyped up coming into this season, during offseason. And he's averaging 21 points. Most importantly to me, they're a second seed in the West. So, I think I've mentioned this in previous videos. To me, getting awards and things like that, which I would treat an all-star game almost like an award, I think winning really matters. You know what I mean? So, like, the Rockets were not expected to be, like, good this year. You know, they were not expected to be a playoff team. And they're second in the West. You could argue Jalen Green's the best player on the team. I would probably say Sengun's the best player on the team. But, obviously, Jalen Green on any given night, he's probably the best scorer on the team. He's averaging 21 a game. Like I said, on the second team in the West. I just personally think he's an all-star because they are playing so well. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Norman Powell's averaging 24 points a game, but they're sixth in the West. Not saying that sixth in the West is bad, but they would still be, I just think second in the West is, like, so important. And just the fact that they're winning games and that he's averaging 21 on one of the best teams in the league, I just think that matters so much. So, personally, the winning means so much to me. I would say yes, Jalen Green is an all-star. Next, we're going to move on to the Eastern Conference. First player that I got in the Eastern Conference is Tyrese Halliburton. He's averaging 18 points, 9 assists a game, so right around a double-double. They're the fifth-ranked team in the East, and they've really picked up their winning lately. They didn't get off to a great start this year, but they've kind of got their stride and started winning a little bit lately. But with that being said, I think everybody kind of keeps up with a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. He's kind of came into the scene here lately in the last 2 years. Kind of the same thing with John Moran. He's too inconsistent, which is probably why he's only averaging 18 points. I don't think he's an all-star for me just because he's too inconsistent. Obviously 18 points, 9 assists is good, but I don't think he's playing all-star level this year. And I like Tyrese Halliburton. I like watching him play, but I think he could be a lot better. He's got to find a way to be able to be a better scorer. He doesn't get his own shot very well. I think he has a hard time getting a shot off, too. His three's kind of slow and weird looking, so I don't think he's playing like an all-star this year, but still 18-9, he's playing decent. The second person I have coming out of the East, which has a lot of controversy around his name, because some people thought he actually should have been a starter, which I don't agree with. But and then some people thought he should have been a starter. Some people don't think he's going to make the All-Star game, so there's a lot of controversy there. But it's LaMelo Ball. He's averaging 29 points a game, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. 29, 5, and 7. You probably can't ever name a guy in NBA history that's averaged 29, 5, and 7 and not been an All-Star. I think he's fourth or third in the league for points per game right now. I think he leads the league in three-point percentage. LaMelo Ball he's balling this year. Just to be honest, he really is. But with that being said, like I said, winning matters so much to me. And the Hornets are the 14th seed in the East right now. So I think that's ultimately why we're seeing a guy like him maybe not make this game, just solely because the Hornets are playing so bad this year. And I think some people kind of expected they did. I don't want to say that people expected the Hornets to be good. I don't want to say that, but I think people expected the Hornets to be better than what they are, to say the least. But again, you got a guy averaging 30 points, five rebounds, and 7 assists. He's an all-star. He's an all-star. I think it's obvious. If you watch LaMelo Ball play, he's easily the best player on the court. He's carrying that team. He's honestly kind of dominant. Especially when he has the ball in his hands, he creates very well. He creates a lot of plays. So yes, LaMelo Ball should be an all-star in my opinion. Lastly, Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. He's averaging 23 points, 11 assists. Problem is they're ranked 9th in the East. Really good decision maker, really good passer, really good scorer. He's top-notch offensive player in the league when it comes to all around. But I think the Hawks are in a weird situation. I think they can't find their stride. I think they've had a few years here lately where they kind of feel like they are a good team and they build a good roster, and I think they feel like they should at least be a second-round playoff team, and they're struggling to make the playoffs. So I think as an organization, the Hawks organization as a whole is just kind of struggling to find where they're at right now, which happens a lot in the NBA. But they definitely got a good guy in Trae Young. Like I said, I think, especially for his size, man, I think he might be one of the most effective offensive players in the NBA just because the screen and roll with him is so hard to guard. 23 points, 11 assists. That is a really good really good stat line. But with that being said, 9th in the East. They're not winning very many games. And he's another guy that can be kind of inconsistent. So I don't think he's an all-star this year, but I do like Trae Young's game. I like all these guys' game. I like watching all these guys, but that doesn't mean I think they're all-stars. So that's my entirety of the list. I want you guys to comment. What did you think about what I had to say about my list and if I thought they were all-stars or not? Did you agree with my list? And who is someone that you would like to see in the All-Star game that maybe isn't a popular choice? I'll give you an example. I know a lot of people like Darius Garland, right? Best team in the NBA, and he's probably the second best player, so second or third best player. So you might want to see him in the All-Star game just because they're the best team, and he's a big factor of that. So I want to hear. That's just an example. I don't think he's an All-Star, but that's not the point. I want you guys to comment a guy like that who you would like to see in the All-Star game. Tell me if you thought my list was good. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time. And I'm trying to get these episodes out quicker and quicker. So thank you. Tune in next time.